Sexy, sultry, seductive. Should you get curtain bangs? Find out in just a second. Don't forget to like and subscribe at Touch Up Salon on YouTube and follow me at Model Makers Hair on Instagram. And let's get rolling with Should You Get Curtain Bangs? So, what are curtain bangs? You hear this term a lot and it seems to define anything bangs right now. For me, curtain bangs is a soft and delicate bang that sweeps across the side of the face and feathers out. We've all seen this retro 70s vibe that's picking up, but it doesn't have to be that for you. You know, we're looking to accent people's eye line and their cheekbones. So the question is, should you get curtain bangs? What's your face shape? What's your hair texture? What do you think is gonna be best? I love it on people that have medium, thick hair. I like it on people that have wavy natural texture, curly natural texture. It's all gonna depend on what you wanna see for yourself. Face shapes are really important when it comes to bangs, because if you have a super wide face, you're a round face shape, you're a square face shape, you're gonna really wanna soften those edges out. So you're gonna look for something that drops off a lot quicker and goes a lot longer, a lot faster if you're gonna get curtain bangs. You, with your ovals and diamonds and the slim face shapes, you can cut those son of a guns all the way back to your sideburns basically, because you're gonna wanna open up your face and let people see what you got. Now, texture-wise, if you have a fine hair texture, be prepared for some styling. You're gonna have to, because you're not gonna be able to just wash and wear. Odds are your hairs are gonna be pretty straight and it's gonna stick out in weird places. So be ready with a round brush or a curling iron in order to shape those curtain bangs into something that looks really nice. Now you thick hair girls, it's kind of the same problem but for a different reason. Yours are gonna be heavy, they're gonna be clunky, and they're gonna need styling in order for them to just lay right. You know, we wanna see a soft bevel in the hair. That's what really makes curtain bangs to me, or the flip out, which is super popular right now. I love it. I think retro is cool. I started hair 15 years ago, so I'm tired of all the lengths and lengths and lengths. I'm ready to see some faces again. And since we're coming out of quarantine and everybody's got tons of hair, what a better way to make a change than a really easy, low maintenance style like curtain bangs. So are you curly and you're wondering, can I do this? You can, but danger. Make sure that you're seeing somebody who knows what they're doing with curtain bangs. If they come at you with a flat iron or a round brush to start with your bangs before they cut them, run away. I don't want them anymore. Just cut my ends. I'm gonna go find somebody else. Because really with curly hair textures, it needs to be dialed in curly. You need to come styled curly. You need to have the person cut them curly, and so you know exactly where they're gonna lay. It's really important because otherwise you might end up with those micro fringe, micro bangs that nobody wants, and they're just gonna be little curly bits all the way up in your hairline, which is not the look we're going for. Can still be cute, but you probably don't want it. So why are curtain bangs so good? Well, they're good for a couple of reasons. One, unlike regular bangs that are set at the eyebrow, they're pretty low maintenance. Like you might be able to trim them every 6 to 8 weeks. I just did a client the other day and you know, she'd been growing them out for 8 weeks. Maybe she nibbled at them a tiny bit, but they still look good because they style off of her face and out of her eyes by design. That's the whole look, right? We want them to sweep and show you through the curtain. So if they start here and then 6 weeks later they're here, that's not a big deal. When they start here and 6 weeks later they're here, that's much more obnoxious. So curtain bangs are a lot lower maintenance for the average client when it comes to wearing bangs. Other benefits of them is that they're very sexy. I think that they look really good. If you've got great eyes and you've got amazing cheekbones and you want to enhance those, there's no better way to do it than some curtain fringe. Because you can just sit there and lay them right on top of your best features and it's gonna stand out. If you have a long lean neck or you have a nice jawline, same thing. It opens up the face and lets us see more of your face. You know, if you have a triangular face shape, this is about the only face shape that I don't love curtain bangs on. And a triangular face shape is gonna be somebody with a very narrow hairline up here that becomes a very wide jawline down here. And the reason being is you're closing off the top, which we actually wanna expand on triangles, and you're opening up the bottom, which we actually wanna shrink. An experienced stylist can make the recommendation, can find workarounds for you. You know, just know that this one isn't maybe necessarily your very best look, but styling is an amazing thing and there's a lot of stuff that you can do to fit it in. But just a warning for you triangular face shapes, you know, be careful with curtain bangs because if you just cut them, you might end up doing the opposite of what you really want to do with your hair and how we accent our facial features. Because you guys should all be thinking about hair the same way you think about makeup. If I'm contouring my cheekbones, I don't have a lot of cheekbones, or I want more cheekbones, okay, curtain bangs are gonna be able to give you some more cheekbones. If you're shrinking your jawline with shadowing and contouring, you're probably not gonna wanna open that space up with your hair. You're gonna wanna close it down the same way. So just something for all you ladies to think about, because it's really important when you're watching all of the Instagram models and all of the people the celebrities that are doing this, is look for somebody who's got a similar face shape to you, see how their curtain fringe is kind of wrapping around their face or opening up their face, and say, yeah, that works for me. Like, we all know who our celebrity doppelganger is. You know, see if they're doing it right now, because a lot of celebrities are, so it's not hard to find imagery for that. Now, I will put a side note here that curtain bangs in the hair world, in the salon, is a very ambiguous term. Like, so bring pictures, because it's not one of those things where we can say, oh, you want curtain bangs? I know exactly what you want. It's like, oh, you want curtain bangs? Let me see what you're talking about. Because for some people, curtain bangs are just bangs. It's the hot buzzword of the minute, so they figure they gotta go into the salon and say, I want curtain bangs, and then they actually want bangs, and that's not a bad thing. It's just one of those communication points between me and my clients that I need to really be aware of. Because for me, curtain bangs sit down here. They're gonna be in your face all day long. That's the idea, is that we wanna veil you and reveal you behind the curtain. But for some people, curtain bangs start up here and swing off, which is fine, but it's definitely a communication point you and your stylist are gonna wanna work through. So be aware of that. Now, who's in danger here? So for those of you that aren't sure if you should get them or not, first thing you wanna check is if you have a really strong cowlick. Okay, some of us, we have really strong cowlicks, and if you're trying to wear your bangs straight down in your face, they're gonna split. And you know what I'm talking about. You comb them and they split. You wet them and they split. You dry them and they split. If they're gonna split and you don't wanna work with that split, you probably don't want curtain bangs, because they're gonna be a nightmare for you on the daily basis. Length is your friend, so sometimes if they split when they're short, you can wear them longer, like down here, and be able to control them pretty well with styling. But just make sure that you know where your cowlicks are in the front, and if you've got a really gnarly one that kicks the hair up and away from your face instead of down and into your face, you may want to think about a different style. And that's just me being your friend. If I've learned anything, is if I can't style it in 5 minutes, I probably don't want to wear it every single day of my life. Like I said, it can be corrected with a round brush or a curling iron or a flat iron, but know that you're investing in that time on a daily basis, otherwise they're just gonna look stupid. So the other texture that may be difficult is if you have very, very fine hair. And I'm not talking like, oh, I have no hair, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking like you really legitimately have a ponytail that's this big, because the amount of hair that needs to come forward into your face could travel a little bit farther back on your head than you want. We don't wanna have a hairstyle necessarily that's half bangs, right? Because every bit that we put in the bangs is weight that we take out of the sides. So if you've got really fine hair and you don't want your layers to start here, you know, you might want to think about something else rather than a really full curtain bang. And that's just a warning. You can get over this with styling products and styling techniques, but it's just a little bit more dangerous. It's definitely something where you're going to want to play with your own hair. The way that we do it, and I'll show you without my hat here, is that you want to separate a triangle. If this triangle from kind of the midpoint of your head down to the sides, which we call the recessions, is where you start balding. If this triangle isn't enough hair for you, then most likely you're not going to want to pull any extra from that, because that's what we put in the regular bang to give it a nice soft curtainy fringe. And then if that's not enough hair that you think it's going to look good, you don't want to cut it into that, because you're just going to spend the next 6 months growing it out. One final reason that I really like curtain bangs is because they're amazing for people that wear a lot of ponytails. You know, are you a ponytail wearer? Do you work out a lot? Do you go outside a lot? Do you like hair off your neck because it's Phoenix and it's summer and it's 100 freaking degrees outside? Curtain bangs are great because they give you a styling point. You know, we like to have something down in our face when all of the rest of our hair is up, because then you can do the accenting of your facial features without having to wear all of your hair down. This is really important for me because a lot of the times my clients will come to the salon and their hair will be up and all of it will be tied back. And it's like, well, this beautiful shape that I've put on this person's hair, how often are they actually getting to see it? You know, curtain bangs, they get to wear it down pretty much every day. 2-3 minutes of styling the bangs. They can put their hair up in a ponytail. They can go work out. They can go outside with their friends. They can just be hot in general and get that hair out of their face. But they still have an interesting styling point to their hair. Whereas regular hair is just gonna be all up. And there's not a lot of face shapes that look amazing with like the Ariana Grande slick back ponytail, okay? It just doesn't do anything for people because it's just sleek. So unless you already have a strong bone structure and a great face shape, it's just gonna be up and out of your way. So I really like curtain bangs for being able to give some razzle dazzle to your average ponytail. So that's one of the reasons that I really think that they're cool, and I'm glad that they're on trend for 2021. So let's talk about styling. Styling's not hard. It shouldn't be hard. If it's hard, however it was cut probably wasn't right, and or your texture and the way that your stylist taught you to style them probably needs work. So I love to use Blow Dry Primer by Davines. It's a texturizing product. It gives a little bit of hold to the hair, but it gives a nice like matte finish, which is really in right now. We're moving back towards shiny hair for 2021, but right now still I would say the majority of the market likes a sort of matte, salty, beachy, natural finish. And so Blow Dry Primer gives us that. I just put a couple of squirts in wet bangs, and then the way that I tell my clients to do is just work their hair back and forth. So I'm blow drying this way, I'm blow drying this way. I don't do hair tutorials, at least not right now, so you'll have to imagine with my hands. But working the hair back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until it's dry will neutralize most cowlicks. It won't neutralize them all. Like I said before, if you have a really strong cowlick, it could be dangerous. But it'll neutralize enough of them for most of you. Then I finish with a medium round brush, which is gonna be like 44 millimeters, so think like 1.5 inches. It's not huge, but it's not small. And that works really well for most lengths that come down to the cheekbone or just below, where you can blow dry it in, sweep it off to the sides, hit it with a little bit of hairspray, and be good with it. For people with stronger textures, your Asian textures, your Indian textures, your African American textures, where you're wearing it smooth, a hot iron may be your best choice, because a hot iron is going to just be able to form that hair a little bit better, and so that'll allow you to again sweep the hair off of your face, but do it for the whole day. Nothing's worse than styling your bangs, going outside, getting like this sweaty, and all of a sudden your bangs are all over the place and wild. My wife wears bangs. We've got her in a long bang. She's got very fine, very straight hair, and when she doesn't style it at all, it sits out like a shelf like this and kind of looks like a little Barbie doll. It's not super cute, but when she puts the styling in, which takes just a couple of minutes, they're formed and they're soft and they're beautiful and they look really good. The other product I recommend is definitely the medium hairspray by Davines, and for the same reasons. It's a light hold hairspray. It's just a great way to finish those bangs, give them a little bit of humidity resistance, because that's gonna be important if they're right next to your face, because that's where we're gonna start sweating first. And so I style the bangs for my clients. I hit them with some medium hairspray. We take our pictures. They wear them all day. The next day, they maybe wet them down and restyle them, and they're good to go. That's everything I've got to say about curtain bangs right now. If you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments. We get back to them super quick. Me and my team see them as soon as they come in. So we'll do our best to get you answers as whether you should have curtain bangs or not. If you want to send me a picture of your hair and ask, should I wear curtain bangs? Send it to @modelmakershair on Instagram, and I'll take a peek at it and get back to you as soon as I can. I do work behind the chair, so I can't get back to everybody in 5 minutes, but I can get back to most of you pretty quickly. Don't forget to like and share this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We want to keep putting out these videos for you guys, and that just tells us that you want to see them. So I'm out of here. God bless. Take it easy and enjoy your bangs.